So, a ton of drama in the NHL today. Even if you don't want to talk about the Oilers and Blues offer sheet drama, I think some teams must have started to feel a little left out, so they spilt some tea of their own. And this story today takes us to Vancouver with a rather weird situation around star goaltender Thatcher Demko. I saw this tweet earlier and it's a bit of a head scratcher. Apparently the Canucks are taking a look into the goaltender market as Demko rehabs from season-ending knee surgery. Rick Dhaliwal was asked about Demko and said he's progressing, but there's no timetable on when he'll return. The Canucks have also apparently been worried about his rehab since the draft, which was like 2 months ago at this point in the offseason, and to make it even worse, it sounds like they didn't elect to go with any surgery because rehab should have been enough, but if the knee isn't getting back to where it needs, then surgery could still be needed in the future. And that's the last thing any Canucks fan wants to hear at this point in August. Like, remember, he was injured in the playoffs. I hadn't even been thinking about this. And it's one thing if he's a setback and isn't ready to go until November or December. Not ideal, but I mean, you've got most of your season left. But if it's the opposite and we're not going to see Demko until sometime in 2025, or even potentially next season if it's that bad of a knee issue, well, that's a problem that's going to seriously hurt the Canucks. Thank God they've got young Shelovs, who has looked pretty good and is probably going to get some opportunities this season. But if Demko is out for a while, the free agency pool is pretty bare, but there are a couple of names which could fill in. Martin Jones, who was with the Leafs last year, is still available, and he wasn't awful for them, had a save percentage above 900 and a GAA of 2.87, which, I mean, you could do worse than. The other name that sticks out to me is Antti Raanta, who absolutely shit the bed last year in Carolina and got his job taken by Freddie, but the year before that, he was a stud backup for the Canes. In 22-23, he had 19 wins in 27 games with 4 shutouts, rocking a .91 and a GAA of 2.23. If he can get back anywhere close to that form, that could be a steal of a pickup for the Nucks. Besides that, you're looking at like Keith Kincaid, Malcolm Subban, Alex Stolok, David Riddick, or maybe Dustin Tokarski as options with NHL experience, and I don't think any of those are really good options. That's a scary list for the Canucks to be looking at unless a trade is in the books, but they've also got less than $200K in cap space after taking on one more contract just the other day. Hopefully the situation is not that dire and things will turn around, but it does make me think of the Jack Eichel situation in Buffalo and how their relationship soured over how to deal with his persistent neck injury, obviously leading to the two to part ways. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything going on like that or that it was Demko who wanted to rehab versus surgery, but it's a very interesting dynamic that I think we will be covering in a dedicated video. But what do you think? Will Vancouver make a move for another goalie? And when do you think Demko will be back? Let us know down below.